the functions of the family. Now, the functions of the family, we're going to be focusing primarily on defining the term family, identifying types of families in the Caribbean, identify family unions in the Caribbean, outline the opportunities and challenges facing these family types and unions in the Caribbean, and analyzing the functions of the family in the Caribbean. Anyone who knows about the family will tell you that a family that prays together stays together. Now, prayer is the main course of some people in our country in Jamaica. And growing up with your grandparents, as one of the terms which we're going to look at later on, you learn from an extended family the importance of prayer and the family. Now, next on your slide, you're going to see questions that you should consider about the family. Now, we will be back to look at CSEC Social Studies after the lotto. We'll continue this lesson. You at home, stay tuned to Television Jamaica for Schools Not Out. We'll be right back.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Get moving! Home workout series with Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica move, mobilize, flexercise. Jamaica move, Jamaica move, Jamaica move, mobilize, flexercise. Come on, take a selfie. Breathe.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:35 a.m.
Hi! We haven't left you out. It's Get Moving Kids.
Wall Street above. We're moving.
Home workout series with Jamaica Moves. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. on TVJ.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Get moving! Home workout series with Jamaica Moves.
Jamaica move, mobilize, flexercise. Jamaica move, Jamaica move, Jamaica move, mobilize, flexercise. Come on, take a selfie. Breathe.
Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8:35 a.m.
Hi! We haven't left you out. It's Get Moving Kids.
Wall Street above. We're moving.
Home workout series with Jamaica Moves. Tuesdays, Thursdays.
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching.
Hi! We haven't left you out. It's Get Moving Kids.
Wall Street above. We're moving.
Home workout series with Jamaica Moves. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. on TVJ. Hi!
COVID-19 tip. Protect yourself and others from getting sick by washing your hands after coughing or sneezing, when caring for the sick, before, during, and after you prepare food, before eating, after toilet use, when hands are visibly dirty, and after handling animals or animal waste.
Reduce your risk of viral illnesses like the flu and coronavirus. Wash your hands frequently with soap and water. Cover your nose and mouth when coughing with a tissue and dispose of it. Avoid close contact with anyone with a cold or flu-like symptoms. If you become ill, please visit your doctor or the nearest health center and share your travel history. The flu and coronavirus can kill. Let's protect each other. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Hi! We haven't left you out. It's Get Moving Kids.
Wall Street above. We're moving.
Home workout series with Jamaica Moves. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays at 2 p.m. on TVJ.
Get moving.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Schools Not Out, your daily classroom for CSEC and CAPE subjects. Today we have been discussing CSEC Social Studies, Individual and the Family. Now, just before our break with the lotto, we were looking at the individual and the family, and we started to look at the objectives of the lesson, which we will look at to define the family, identify family types in the Caribbean, identify family unions in the Caribbean, outline the opportunities and challenges of family types and unions, and analyze the functions of the family in the Caribbean. Now, earlier on, I alluded to the fact that a family that prays together stays together. It keeps the family together. We find that in our society today, not many people take on praying, and not many families are that cohesive anymore. So the lesson today will sort of a bit look at that as well. So let's move on in our lesson today. Now, questions for you to consider. What is a family? Can a society exist without families? How would children be cared for? Can the state replace the family? Why? What type of family, what type of individual would exist if we did not have families? Now, the definition for the family is that a family is often considered the building block of any society. When we're looking at these agents of socialization, we look at the family, the school, religion, and the media as agents of socialization. But the primary agent of socialization is the family. The family gives us the ability for our countries or our society to coexist. And it is that unit of the family that keeps our society together. Without the family, you wouldn't get where you want to be. The family is the one that provides the first step of formal education. You learn to creep, you learn to walk, and you go on in society with the help of the family. Now, the family plays that important role. And that important role we see from what the family does. Now, do the members of a family have to live under the same roof? Is my father a part of my family? And if he is or is not, does he live in the same household with me? Those are points for you to consider, because you're going to realize that whilst we're looking at the family, we're going to look at different types of families in our society today. Now, let's move on. On the screen, the household, the family concepts. It's a group of people who live together in a house and share the space together, hence sharing social intimacy and other forms of family bonding. I mentioned earlier on praying together, but sometimes also the family needs to come together and eat together at the dinner table. Some people do that on a Sunday. Some people believe that you should just collect the dinner, go into the room, and you're apart from the family. But eating together, praying together, doing certain social activities together will bring the family back. And it's those basic tenets that we need in our society today right across the Caribbean. Now, next for us to look at family types and unions. We have the various family types such as the nuclear family, the extended family, sibling family, single parent family, which I mentioned earlier on. And we also have the family unions, such as the common law union or the consensual union, a visiting relationship, and a legal marriage. Now, commonly across the Caribbean, we're going to start with the first one, the nuclear family. Now, with the nuclear family, we call this the common family type that we expect to have in the Caribbean countries. We want to see where there's a mother, a father, and the children living together as one. And that's the type of families that most people call the ideal family type, the nuclear family. George P. Murdoch, a sociologist, used this terminology. And it is it that we all look around the world and see as a unique family type. When you're watching certain television shows on television Jamaica, you see the mother, the father, and the children together, especially the comedy shows here on TVJ. But the question that I have, a very provocative question here for you. If a couple doesn't have any children, are they still regarded as a family? That's for you viewers to consider at home. Now, next, the extended family. Some of us grew up in a family type where our grandparents played a pivotal part to our growing up. That is the extended family. Under that roof, you have 2 or 3 generations. Your mother and your father being one generation, you, your brother and your sisters being another generation, and your grandparents coming to move in. The grandparents coming to move into your household brings a different light on things. Why a different light? Because it's the grandparents who they're going to act as your caregivers whilst your parents are out at work. And it's your grandparents who will tell you those old-time stories about, remember when I was a child, remember in the 1940s when we had World War II. They will give you all those stories and they will build you up and let you imagine these great things. Great storytellers, but also people who will influence your lifestyle. That's the grandparents. As it says, it takes a village to grow a child. The village starts with the grandparents. So, as on the prompter here, the definition for the extended family. The extended family is one that includes family members from more than one generation, which I mentioned. They live under the same roof, and it is really a wide range of kinship relations. So it's bringing us together, that kinship, bringing us together. So it can include your uncles, your aunts, cousins, nieces, and grandparents. The extended family provides children, or it provides childcare rather, for the young by the grandparents and bridges the generation gap. You're going to ask, what's the generation gap? The generation is for every 40 years. You're from one generation versus that of your grandparents and your parents. And looking at that, you're going to expect that you will hear them talk about different things. They'll talk about scare. This week we saw the death of Minnie Small. She was from a different generation. She had her songs that Jamaicans love to sing. My Boy Lollipop, you make my heart go giddy up. Now, the younger generation don't know anything about that. Ask them about a Vibes Cartel. They'll scoop it up. But that's what they see. So that brings a generation gap. Now, the sibling household. The sibling family, it's a family where you have brothers and sisters cohabiting under one roof. They live under one roof. Sibling family, sometimes it can be called barrel children, because what happens for them is that their mother and father might be living overseas or out of town, and you have to depend on an older child to take care of you, your older brother or sister to take care of you. And they, in turn, doing that, make things better for you, because they will have to feed you, clothe you, send you to school, come and visit school when you get a report card, come and visit school when you get in trouble, or any other things. But can the sibling families live without their parents? No, because the parents are the ones who are working. They're the ones who are providing the income. But we see out of the sibling household, we can also have what we call barrel children, or the Western Union generation, where you'll have them lining up at Western Union or collecting a barrel to collect all that they need to be sustainable. Now, the next type of family type is a single parent family type, as we can see on the prompter. This type of family is very small. It consists of one parent with his or her child living in the household. In the Caribbean, the single parent family is mainly headed by a female. These are career women who want to go out there, having nothing impeding their careers, send their children to school, but they come in and they take care of the children. We have seen that this is becoming a common type across the Caribbean, where they're headed by females. Now, the next family type is the common law union, or what you call the shack-up. In the common law union, the mother and the father, or the man and the woman, they live together for several years. But the thing is, the mother and the father, and the man and the woman rather, they are not legally married. In Jamaica, under the Property Rights of the Spouses Act, a spouse is defined as a single man and a single woman who have been cohabiting together as if they were in-law, husband and wife, for no less than 5 years. The term cohabit is defined as meaning to live together in a conjugal relationship outside of marriage. So they haven't put on the ring. They now live together over 5 years. State might consider them married, but it's a common law union. They didn't go in front of a minister or justice of the peace to declare that they are married. So they live together, and the property of one spouse can be transferred to another under this law. You're going to find that across the world, this is a common form of union between man and woman. And it's one that we have to look at as well. Now, the other type of union is a visiting relationship. The two partners, the man and the woman, might not be able to live together on a daily basis because of business transactions that they have to do, because of work. One might live out of town or out of country, and they visit regularly. So they share a sexual relationship, but they don't share a common residence. And you find that that does happen in the Caribbean as well as a form of union. Now, the other common form of union that we are associated with in the Caribbean is the legal marriage. As you can see on the prompter, legal marriage is marriage between a man and a woman who are legally married. They share a common residence. They come in front of a minister. Yes, you can see that my picture is missing, but I'm winging it without the picture today. So the man and the woman, they go in front of the minister or the justice of the peace, they put on the ring, and during that, that's where they declare that I therefore marry you, and they sign a marriage contract, a formal marriage contract. People have to be careful when they're signing these marriage contracts because they have to look at the spelling of their names, that it's spelled properly, and the marriage contract is also written out properly. This is known as matrimony. Some men claim that is matri taking away my money. But this is what it's known as in Jamaica, matrimony or the legal marriage. Now, next, a family tree. The family tree is several generations of the family. You might be named Brown, but before you and your parents, that's your surname or your last name is Brown, but before you and your parents, the name might be Small. And then before Small, you have several generations before. You're going to realize that you have what you call a family tree. When I have students doing this topic, I ask them to go home and research a family tree, find out who their relations are. And they do up a nice graph, and it shows them who it's in their family. Now, a conjugal family. Next, the conjugal family is the process of marrying someone and having children either or by a birth or adopt children that are underage or unmarried. So in the Caribbean, we also have conjugal families. These are some of the family types that we have in our region. Now, the family traits. The family traits distinguishing behavioral patterns or characteristics that are particular to a person or a group. Now, some of us will look on the nose and we say, oh, that's Master Brown's son, you can see it on the nose. Or they have a hooked finger and they said, oh, that's how your father have a hooked finger too. So that's your father. And that's how some people will be able to distinguish between what we call the jacket or the real child. And they look at the color of the skin, the pigmentation and everything. There are certain traits or certain things that you should have that your parents had that they would expect. And that's what we see with the family. Now, the basic functions of the family. The basic functions of the family includes procreation. That is, the family must be able to continue. So after you're gone, your sons and daughters will take over. There is socialization. The family is supposed to be the first means of socialization. As I said to you first, when we came on today, that it's the family that prays together, that stays together. Prayer is done around the table at dinner, yes, but sometimes the family must come together as a unit and pray. That's a part of socialization. Teaching you how to creep and walk, we'll see as first means of educating the individual. There are certain things that the family should not depend on the school to do, but the family should do it. The family is also an economic unit for satisfying basic needs. You need a new pair of shoes, you need a socks, you need a new cell phone. You turn first to the family for that because you need pocket money. It's the family who provides that for you firstly. The family also is a social unit for satisfying emotional and psychological needs. When you get into your feelings, it's the family first that you should actually discuss these feelings with. I've said it to students who I teach each year when I teach them social studies. Said to them, the first people who you should talk to about sex is not the other teenagers or teenage cockroaches, as I refer to some of them as, but the first person you should talk to about sex is your mother and your father. And most teenagers look at me with a screwed up face. Why should I talk to my parents about sex? It's your family first that you're going to talk to about certain emotional issues and certain issues that you're undertaking. Now, these are the basic functions. Now let's go in. So the procreation, the biological function. The family through what we call fecundity, which is the ability of the family to reproduce children. And let me write that word on the board. So let's go into TVJ's teacher board and write this word on. Now that's the ability to reproduce children. So under procreation, that's where it comes in. To produce new members of the family for the society and to ensure the continuation of the human race. We have to ensure that 100 years from now, your name lives on. And that's what most men love to see, that their name live on 100 years from now. But the family must continue in some way. Now, the other function of the family is socialization. That's the key. You're raising the children, they must pass on certain values. They must have certain cultural beliefs. So you're sharing your culture. You're telling them that, you know, when my granny used to do this, my granny used to do that, my grandpa did this. One of the things that my great-grandmother introduced me to as a child, she usually take the Colgate toothpaste, shouldn't call a brand name, but we just did that on live television, took the toothpaste and she would take the minty leaves, put on top of the toothpaste. So before Colgate was putting in mint into their toothpaste, she was doing that. Also, we talk about corona. When as a child you were exposed to the flu, the grandparents would do a huge bath. Do the bath, pour the hot water in the bath, get the tamarind leaves, get all those other prohibited green leaves and put into the bath, and then put you on that bath on a bucket and cover you with a blanket. Now, these are some cultural things that were done in the past. And that in itself would actually take the flu out of you because you would sweat it out. That's what the old people use as their sauna. Back in the day, they put you over a bath, wrap you up with all that blanket, and you're sweating it out. So that's the cultural beliefs coming out. The value system. We have to go back to, in Jamaica, the values and attitudes that we need. The common value system where you learn, you enter a building the first time you see somebody, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And you don't say good night because when you say good night, you're going to bed. A lot of people, when they call you on the phone, they tell you good night. And they don't realize when they're saying good night, you're saying goodbye. Common value system, social norms. Those are the things we need to go back to. So those type of socialization would come from the family. And if the family is not providing that, that's where we have the breakdown that we see in our society. Things fall apart, the center cannot hold. The family needs to be the one that holds things together. The Prime Minister says, stay indoors, tanner your yard. Tanner your yard first start with the family. Family not staying in, what do we expect? Starts from the top. Now, other function of the family is the economic unit. I mentioned earlier on, you need to purchase things, you go to your parents, food, clothing, shelter, those basic needs in society, that must be provided by the family first. It's not provided by the government, it's not provided by the school. The family is the first to provide these basic needs. When the parents work and earn an income, they in turn come with that income and subsidize you. Children need to learn from their parents with the economic unit to set up a budget. If the family teaches you to set up a budget, you will learn not to spend so much. You learn to spend a little, save a little. And it is a family who is going to first encourage you to open a bank account. We see the big talk about bank accounts on the television today. That could have been solved if the family was actually carrying out some of the basic functions that it should be carrying out. Because as an economic unit, parents should first open a bank account for a child or a credit union account as early as possible and encourage a child to save, because that regimen teaching the child to save will help the child later on in life on a rainy day when you need to actually get some money. So the question here, should children work to support the family? You stop at a stoplight, you see somebody wiping your screen glass. Sometimes it's a child under 13 doing it. Or you see a child under 13 at the same stoplight, say, beg your money now. Are they working? Should that happen? Points for you to ponder. Now, another function is the emotional support. The family provides love, care, affection, and protection for its members. And if you look at, say, a lion pride, the lions as a group, sometimes you have to look at the animal kingdom to understand how humans can actually cohabit and behave. You look at the lion pride, you realize that the lions protect their young. Look at us humans, we have to protect our young. We now not just have to make sure that we provide the love and the care for the young that we have to deal with on a daily basis. We also must protect them. Sometimes they encounter danger. I always tell children whenever they're leaving a class and we have prayed for the day, I tell them when you go home, tell your parents that you love them. Do not talk to strangers. Stranger danger. Those common things, we realize we don't really say them much anymore in society. But we have to protect our children from danger, especially today with human trafficking. You give the child a cell phone. You tell them not to talk to certain people, call them when they're certain places so you know when they're home. You have to protect them. Our nation created a Child Rights Protection Act to protect our children, but the protection really starts at home. Everything begins at home. The little song that says, bring the family back, bring it back together, bring the family back. We need to go back to that. Now, the educational function. The family serves as the first agent of education. When you start to crawl, who is going to teach you to walk? Not the teacher, not the nursery. The nursery shouldn't be teaching you that, nor the teacher teaching you to walk. First letters that you're going to say when you're to say ma, pa, dada. Those are things that children will learn from their parents. So the family is the first agent of education. It's a family that you're supposed to sit around the table when the teachers give you homework to do, sit with your parents. We see online homework now. But sometimes I hear from parents that they love to see when they get homework because they sit with the children and they actually discuss this type of homework that they get. And sometimes the parents, they're learning too, which is very good. So the Minister of Education doing a good job with the online teaching. And it should provide opportunities for children to gain access to knowledge and skills needed to survive on the planet. A child should not depend on just television to learn. A child should be learning from their parents. The parents can pass on certain skills. You need to learn to fix a pipe, learn it at home. I always tell kids, at 7 years old, I learned to change a car tire because I literally watched them changing car tires from about 3, 4, going up by 7. I could actually jump on and try to help myself. Because these are things that you actually watch, you adapt, and you learn these things as you go on. This is what we need in our society today. Now, let's look at some multiple choice questions. CSEC says that this year, the paper ones, along with the school-based assessment, will be what they will be focusing on. In future lessons, I will focus on the school-based assessment, but today I've chosen some multiple choice questions which we are going to go through. These multiple choice questions are some past paper questions from CSEC Social Studies. Now, first multiple choice question. A family which consists of a father, mother, children, grandparents, and other relatives living under the same roof is an example of A, nuclear family, B, extended family. C, visiting. D, democratic. Now, what's the answer? So the answer is B. And why B? Go back to the question. Question says a family which consists of father, mother, children, grandparents. Can't be nuclear. Nuclear is father, mother, and the children. Can't be visiting because they're not living under the same roof. Look at the stimulus from the question, living under the same roof. Can't be democratic because democratic, you're referring to the society or the freedom that you get. So it has to be extended. And we give you the explanation why it is the extended. The extended family is one that includes family members from more than 2 generations living under the same roof. So this is coming out of a CSEC past paper. Won't tell you which year. Now, question 2. Question 2. A single parent family may result from all of the following except, notice except is placed capital letters and bold versus the rest. So that is one thing that you should look at when you're doing a question like this. A, divorce. B, death. C, matrimony. D, separation. Here's a question. A single parent family may result from all of the following except. What's the answer? Answer is matrimony. And as Oliver Samuel sung in his song, matrimony, take away my money, matrimony. Man and woman are legally married, share a common residence, and an intimate relationship. That's matrimony. So they're together. It involves a legal ceremony. You put on the ring, go in front of a minister or the justice of the peace. That's it. Now, next question. A man and woman living together by a mutual agreement without a legal contract is A, consensual, B, extended, C, extra-residential, D, legal. Now, what's the answer right there? The answer would be A, consensual, common law union. Consensual union is a man and woman who are not legally married. So they live together under the Property Rights Act, as I told you earlier on, for 5 or more years. It's considered consensual because they come to what you call a common agreement. And this common agreement that they come to is what they live by. Now, next question. Number 4. The sibling family. Sibling family consists of what? Mother and father, sisters and brothers, grandparents, cousins. Obvious answer there is sisters and brothers, because that's a sibling family. I call them the barrel children. So, this is the definition for sibling. This is a reminder to you why it's the answer. Sibling, your brothers and sisters having one or both parents in common. So the siblings, and they live together. Now, question 5. A nuclear family. The nuclear family consists of all of the following, except children, common surname, parents, aunt. Now look at the question. Nuclear family. Definition for nuclear, mother and father and children living together. So the common surname is something that's common in nuclear. Children, common in nuclear. Parents, common. So the one really out is aunt. So the answer actually is aunt. An aunt is a member of the extended family and not the nuclear family. Okay? They might share the same last name, yes or no, but they're not a member of the nuclear family. Now, next question. The family is a socialization unit because it produces new members of society. It teaches the child the roles and responsibilities. It satisfies the basic needs of its members. Or is it D, all of the above? So the answer is B. It teaches the child roles and responsibilities because the family is the first agent of socialization. And it's expected that the family is going to teach all these beliefs. Remember, I told you earlier on, my grandmother, she taught me, she got the Colgate, sprinkled the mint leaf on the Colgate, that was the mint. She got her little white rum, she put her little ganja in the white rum, rubbed me up whenever I had the flu, it's a knockout. Those are some of the cultural beliefs you pick up earlier on. Now, next question, number 7. Arlene lives in an apartment with her younger brother and sister. Which of the following best describes this situation? Is it A, a single parent household, B, a family, C, sibling household, D, a visiting type relationship? The answer would be C, because Arlene lives in an apartment with her brother and sister. So it's a sibling setting. The question, the stimulus doesn't mention anything about parents, doesn't mention anything about the type of family group. All right. Now, this is where we end our lesson today in social studies. Now, that's all for CSEC social studies on the individual and the family. We hope you grasp some of the concept as we discuss. You can catch a repeat of today's lesson on JNN today at 4 p.m. and in the Schools Not Out highlights this Saturday between 1 and 4 p.m. right here on Television Jamaica. It also will be on video on demand at One Spot Media. Until next time, I'm Christopher Humber. Thank you for joining us in social studies. Next we have CSEC biology. Stay tuned to Television Jamaica, Jamaica's #1 station in education.
Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching. Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live events, click here. To see our full videos on onespotmedia.com, click here. Thank you very much for watching. Hi there, I'm Simon Preston from TVJ. Thank you very much for watching our YouTube channel. To see our latest videos and also to see live